as I blather for a moment, we should be live, but there's that delay, so we'll
Hmm.
see any minute here when it actually starts moving on YouTube, and we'll know that it actually is live. Any minute here. I'm still looking at the icon saying Hail Caesar. Any minute. There we go. So, hey guys, so yes, it is entirely Matthew's fault we are late.
Yeah.
I just saying,
Bad life
it
with Matthew. Bad.
yeah, it was entirely Matthew's fault. So, welcome to the stream. We're going to be watching one of Darin's absolute favorite films. So, Darin, tell everybody. I mean, I know besides from what you've told me, the gritty and true, the most realistic depiction of the United States Navy in film history. What else is it that you love about this film?
Well, it's a Coen Brothers movie, and they're hit or miss with me, but usually hit. I enjoyed their movies are very bizarre. I enjoyed Barton Fink. I enjoyed Oh Brother, Where Art Thou. I also enjoyed The Man Who Wasn't There. This one is their second film that they've done that centers on a fictional movie studio called Capitol Pictures. The first one was Barton Fink. Barton Fink went to work for them as a staff writer in the original film. Now that movie took place in 1941. This movie takes place in 1951, and it's about a real life studio fixer named Eddie Mannix. Now Eddie Mannix in the film is played by Josh Brolin, Thanos, and
although he does not look like Thanos, just
no. but Josh Brolin's character is also a lot more benevolent than the real life Eddie Mannix was. Eddie Mannix was a Hollywood fixer who worked for MGM, whose responsibility was to put out fires and to protect the likenesses and images of the movie stars. So
basically, in the modern era, it would be someone who's tasked with protecting the IP.
right.
It's just that back then the movie stars were an IP.
Right. They were, and the thing that you'll notice right away is that the debauchery level in Hollywood, even in 1951, was about the same as it is now.
Right.
And that the movie studios really owned the actors, the movie stars, in a way they don't seem to today.
Right.
So, things I want you to pay attention to are both the similarities and differences between this version of Hollywood and what we have today, and of show business in general, and also the theme of it's all an illusion. It's in movies, the whole thing. In 1951, the movie industry was dealing with the repercussions of a huge antitrust case called United States versus Paramount Pictures. A lot of people don't know this, but prior to that landmark case, movie studios owned the movie theaters. So you'd have a Paramount theater that only showed Paramount movies. You had a Warner Brothers movie theater that only showed Warner Brothers movies, and they were all deregulated, and things were very iffy at that point. In 1951, also, there was a relatively new invention called television that was starting to become more affordable and starting to show up in people's homes, but not right away, and they were kind of reeling from that. So you had Hollywood dealing with a crisis very similar to what we have now with Hollywood, where things are changing now, and they have to change with it. And so I don't want to get too much more into it. I'm going to stop bloviating, as I have a tendency to do, and we'll talk more about it after the movie's finished.
Absolutely. And Mark, thank you, starts us off with a $10 super chat. Says Megadeth has dropped straight fire for the last 4 years, and I had no idea. Merry Christmas, Anti-Checker and friends. Never seen Hail Caesar. Well, you're going to see it tonight if you go to the link in the description to go to antichecker.com that will then link you to Matthew's screening room, because that's just how we roll around here. And Darin Blvd never, says Professor Brainy Specs, who's obviously delusional. So yeah, this the only thing I've seen of this movie is basically as I was rendering it out for tonight. So I saw most of the movie, but at like 5 times speed with no audio. So that all I know is okay, I recognize that guy. Okay, I recognize that guy. And of course, you've shown me the gritty, uber realistic portrayal of the United States Navy.
Yes,
which I know Matthew's really curious about that now.
Yes,
I actually am.
Channing Tatum plays a Gene Kelly style song and dance actor, and they do a musical number about sailors in the Navy, and
truly the most accurate portrayal of the Navy ever put to song and dance.
Yes. All right. Yes. Of course it is. Yes. It almost exactly as authentic as Pee Wee Herman dancing with the Marine Corps in my video on your channel. In fact, the footage from both of those is in one video that I had on your channel not too long ago.
So Josh wants to know, is this the U.S. release or the Kurogan release where the name is changed to Hail Bird of Prey? No, this is the American release. So yes, that's so. Hopefully you guys have gone to the link to get to the screening room, because I think this is going to be a fun movie. I honestly, I'm not, I know Darin's going to hate me for this because, I'm not a movie snob. So I'm not a big Coen Brothers fan. Not that they're not talented. I'm just don't go out of my way to see a Coen Brothers movie, but every time I've seen one, I've enjoyed it. So if that makes any sense.
They're an acquired taste. They really are. Yeah. All
right, so go ahead, Matthew, whenever you're ready, and I hope you got your popcorn out. And I've got my. Yep. See, I need to make popcorn before one of these next time.
You really do.
Next time. Oh, well, 2 weeks from now. By the way, 2 weeks from today, we are doing a New Year's Eve double header where we will be watching Sharknado and Sharknado 2, the second one.
Nice.
A double feature, yes.
Yes, that is the actual name of the second film, by the way. So, yes. All right, so, yeah, the second one. Yeah,
Here we go again.
Okay, we're ready. Hail Julius Trekker and Darin Augustus. It is I, Matt Anthony. Let's do this.
Matt Anthony?
Are you that uncultured?
Wow, you're wearing a T-shirt? I don't know if I've ever seen you just wearing a plain old white T-shirt.
No, it's a toga. I got a toga.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even catch that. Very good. Because it's Hail Caesar.
I should have gotten a different colored T-shirt or a different colored toga, but, last second. Very lazy.
No, I didn't even think to do that. So,
nice background.
Although I know that the Roman influence in the film is only like one of many different motifs they show in the film. So, it's not. Yeah, it's not a Caesar movie. It's a movie.
I was set up for Shakespeare's Julius Caesar here. Have I been misled?
You have been. So,
yeah.
Roll the film.
Roll the film. Here we go.
So, Matthew is our actual projectionist.
It's not playing on my end yet. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Yeah, it just started.
Shut my mouth.
All right. Who do we got here? Logos, forever the logos.
Yes. Comcast, the theater.
More heliocentric reinforcement for the masses here.
Oh, you're not going to go there. I didn't mention it. You had to go there.
Yes, I did.
Trying to get my channel shut down. I see how you are.
It's over now. Don't worry.
Hey, as long as you don't talk about politics stuff, your channel's fine.
No
they allow everything else. I do like the music in the background.
Yes, it's very nice.
The choir boy kind of. So Matthew likes choir boys.
It kind of makes me think we're going to go to Middle Earth.
Yeah, but it's obviously
funny you should mention that.
Okay.
Listen, there's a narrator who's from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. "24 hours, huh?
Yeah.
Does that make him a really good Catholic or a really bad Catholic?
Questionable.
Yeah. Yeah, we figured that's your wife. You can tell it's a dated movie when she thinks it's bad for me to smoke.
Yes, exactly.
Do you remember the movie or the kind of a documentary called "Thank You for Smoking"?
Mm-hmm.
Documenting how intensely the smoking lobbyists went after Hollywood movies.
Oh yeah. Well, Mad Men. The first 4 seasons are all about how they deal with Lucky Strike, and how Reader's Digest puts out these articles that it's unhealthy.
I mean, even Fred Flintstone took out a Lucky Strike every now and then.
Yep. Here we go.
But Fred Flintstone was almost a I Love Lucy in cartoon form.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He cares not for day or night.
I believe it's Michael Gambon, I want to say.
I'm sure there's nothing inappropriate going on inside those doors.
Jesus Christ on a scooter. That's definitely not something I heard. I'm sure that Matthew is completely shocked by that, though.
Oh, yeah. It's more of a moped.
As he says, the studio owns her likeness, so she can't have pictures taken of her in characters.
Right. Huh. Oh, Matthew likes this movie now.
Here, have
just love those casual bribes. And Multi-Gun Man, I'm pretty sure that Matthew does have popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess he's going to confessional again tomorrow.
Or was that a flashback?
No, that was not a flashback.
Okay, here you go, Matthew. Here's my
reference. I should have gotten the hat.
The Emperor.
I'll see you later, Thomas.
Where's Thomas going?
He's just gonna call it a night.
Aw. But Thomas, I hear Bird is going to be on the show later.
Okay, so we're getting a movie within a movie going on right now.
No, you'll see what happens here. They're just viewing the opening of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it is a movie within a movie. I mean, Hail Caesar is the name of the movie that he's watching the dailies for in a movie called Hail Caesar.
Right. And then there's George Clooney. Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman.
Yeah. And then, I don't know why people think George Clooney is such a great actor. He's not bad, but he has like zero range. He's the same character in every movie he's ever been in.
He is.
I mean, this is Batman.
Of course, there's Kurgan.
11.
Yeah. Or
and it's the astronaut in Gravity.
I always think of him as Seth Gecko from Dusk Till Dawn.
Seth Gecko, yeah. It's all the same character.
Yep.
Saul the humble merchant. That is not what Saul was.
Yeah, well, Saul was kind of a divine presence to be shot. I like that.
I'm just gonna insert the Monty Python. Oh, stop groveling! Do you know how hard it is?
Look at all those sound stages. Yeah. Look at all those sound stages.
So you said he's a fixer, but he kind of comes across more like he's a studio head here.
He is a studio head, but he's a special kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you say fixer, I think of a guy that the studio employs in order to resolve various situations. Yeah, he's just a guy that takes it very seriously.
He did double duty, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Alex, I have not seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, so I don't know if Clooney was Clooney in that one.
So Mr. Skank is the owner of Capitol Pictures, and he's in New York. So he's
Mr. Skank.
Is his name?
I believe Mr. Skank is Kurogan.
Is he really now?
Yeah.
Oh, the entire Skank family comes from Kurogan.
See,
right now, Mr. Skank.
I think you're racist on that one.
Yeah, right now, Mr. Skank is telling him that he has to move Hobby Doyle, who's a dust actor, onto a drama.
Okay. Dust meaning a cowboy.
Yes. A singing cowboy type.
Right. Roy Rogers type of.
Yeah. They're in a pinch, and they have to finish this movie, and so they have to move him from his Western he's doing to a drama. Hobby Doyle is his name. Eldon Eidenreich there.
Yeah. It's Han Solo! Look, he's a dead ringer! He looks just like Harrison Ford there.
See, this is what I think is interesting. It takes a great actor to be able to play a bad one. Mm-hmm. And he's not necessarily playing a bad actor here. He's just playing a dated actor. But he's one of those actors that did all of his own stunts. And
so he did that horse mount there?
Ehrenreich did most of the stunts here. The only things he didn't do were the lasso tricks you see him do. Those ended up being CGI.
Hey, I recognize those rocks.
Oh.
Now, my only problem with this is that no movie in the 1950s had stunts that good.
Some of them did.
I'm just waiting for the Gorn to come out from behind the rocks.
I've worked with people like that. The
Wayne
cowboy.
Knight's cameo. Wayne Knight's cameo here.
Okay, they're like plotting.
Yeah.
Was that?
So, is he going to steal some dinosaur embryos while he's here?
Yeah.
The guy holding the grapes, wasn't he in a Voyager episode with the Ferengi? Oh, Lesser Sage?
I don't think so.
So obviously they're poisoning somebody. You want to check out my Barbasol can?
Klein. Newman. So at first I thought they were doing that, the poisoning, like in the movie.
No, but it looks like they're actually trying to poison one of the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Or laxative, or...
Yeah. So they're trying to drug George Clooney.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to try to replace him with someone who can act.
They might be trying to go after Santa Claus there.
No, because he was watching George Clooney as he was taking his glass. So you look at the way he's watching his...
Yep.
I tell you, the man has a poker face. He's inscrutable.
Yep. There he goes.
Yeah.
The whole friggin' thing. It's in him now.
Fine, boys. That was fine.
And Super Blabberpuss, I'll take your word for it as far as the stunts of old westerns, because honestly, I don't care for old westerns very much. So I'm sure that there are some that look great.
Well, you'll find out later that Hobby Doyle worked in a rodeo for years, and then he worked his way up, and then somebody saw that he could sing a song, and he became a leading man at that point. So you'll see more about him. He's my favorite character in the movie.
I kind of look like Newman.
It's funny because it looks like Newman, and then what's the name of the guy who lived across the hall?
Kramer.
Seinfeld?
Kramer, yeah. He looks kind of like Kramer.
Yeah.
They should. So yeah, they obviously drugged him on something.
Yep. This is a great scene.
Hello, Jerry.
There's the doctor.
Yeah. Please state the nature of your theological emergency.
We'd
Might
like
wanna
to
listen
see
to this
how
scene
we've
a little
offended
bit.
all of you.
No, listen.
Oh, crap. Was that the rabbi? I don't think the rabbi
he's a patriarch of the Orthodox Church.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Doctor!
The doctor is the rabbi. Notice he's got a yarmulke on.
So is this kind of a spoof on Ben-Hur?
Kind of.
Yeah, it sounds like Hail Caesar.
He refers to Jesus Christ as that swell guy from the East.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Imagine that.
Now, first of all, no theater or no studio today would even give a crap about that. But
Yep. They want to make money.
right.
This one does anyway.
So they're having could you imagine sitting in a boardroom having this conversation?
Yep.
Trying to talk about the Trinity with people who don't believe in God. I just took a drink. I almost spewed.
I never would have thought of Robert Picardo as playing the stereotypical Jew.
Oh my goodness.
I am shocked that they're all agreeing on this. And yes, Daniel, we will be doing the Untitled show about nerdy stuff tomorrow night.
Who is this lady?
Is Pepper Potts?
This is no. I mean, like, who's the actress?
Oh, I don't know.
For a second, I was like, "That's Gwyneth Paltrow, really?"
Yeah.
No.
At first, I was saying, Darin, what have you been drinking? That is not Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, it's not. You're right. Yeah, the studio's changing your image.
Yeah, we're going to make you into Han Solo.
Hear that? They tell you who you can date, too. The studio tells you who you're going to appear at a party with or who you're going to marry. And okay, now this is interesting because they don't make movies like this anymore. There used to be a whole genre of motion pictures back in the day that were aquatic, synchronized swimming films that were set to music. It was like one big long music video where you watched women swimming to orchestra music.
Right.
They were very pleasant. And, here obviously is Scarlett Jo playing one of these actresses.
What, you mean she's not a mermaid?
She's not a mermaid, I'm sorry to say.
No.
Clearly, Black Widow got a hold of the time stone. There's something more going on in this movie.
And the reality stone so that she could become a fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm onto your game, Darin. I kind of wish they had done some of these shots using the old techniques, just to really
they
get
did.
They
did. There's a shot coming up here that is very. What is that noise?
No, I hear it though.
Okay.
What noise?
There was
must be coming from you.
No, it wasn't.
It was
me,
it was like a clicking noise.
Yeah, but I mean, these kaleidoscope-like images they would show of women swimming in a pool. But no, there's a shot here coming up where it's in reverse, and that's what they used to do things like that to enhance the experience. But you'd sit in a theater and you'd listen to, very calming, very beautiful orchestral music, and it was like a music video, a feature-length music video.
Now, I will say this. They have time for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this seems like it's not going to be super relevant to the movie at large.
Oh, they're trying to present an image here that you have this angelic mermaid woman played by the very beautiful Scarlett Johansson, and who is, by the way, got her, I think, one of her big breaks in an earlier Coen Brothers movie, The Man Who Wasn't There. And she's smiling. She's, just a delightful presence here. And then you'll see.
I'm sure is her
here's
full-on
the
New York
reverse.
accent coming out
Here's the reverse shot. See?
Yeah.
She was actually lowered into the water there instead of coming out of it because she's all dry. Oop.
Froze for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Now that's Scarlett Johansson right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm not sure if this is me causing problems or not.
It's
repeated for a second, which was weird, but I just blame Matthew.
Yeah.
I think
it's amazing to me that she is married to Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live.
So he's asking her which person he's thinking of marrying, because they're kind of arranging a marriage for her because she's pregnant.
Have you all seen The Three Amigos?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They
was a
kinda go
silent
over the same
film.
thing.
yeah. Those are
The
silent
one with
films.
Chevy
so-
Chase.
Yeah,
Oh
Would
yeah,
I
they
cast
presented a
Wayne
silent
Knight
film. Yeah.
to play Ferengi in a '90s Star Trek movie? I don't know. That's a very random question, Alex. I have no idea.
I don't even know who Wayne Knight is, to be honest.
he was the guy who poisoned George Clooney's drink.
Oh, Newman. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I guess Wayne Knight is a
I mean,
Ferengi. He'd be one of the bumbling Ferengi, like Rom.
Yeah. So, this is what they used to call a comedy of manners. This aristocratic drama that he's now been assigned to.
right.
Yeah.
I
So
think I've
he's
seen
used to
this scene,
doing
Darin,
stupid cowboy
Yeah.
movies, and now they're trying to make him a
Yeah.
sophisticant.
Yes.
where they try to get him to get rid of his accent. Is that it?
Right. Yeah. That's
Okay.
That's and he looks the part. I mean, Aldenreich is able to look at how bitchy she looks. He looks the part. You know, they really transformed him. And here's Ralph Fiennes
Yeah.
playing Lawrence Lawrence.
That's how I feel when I put on ties.
He's like, really, 007.
But for me, it's because I got a fat neck, not because the collar's just naturally tight.
Uh-huh. You have a fat neck.
I do. This thing is chunky. It's because I keep eating popcorn, which is
Yes.
technically a fruit. I found out recently.
Opportunity.
He doesn't understand what he's saying. I mean,
Oh,
And this
I'm
is our
trying too
Han
much with
Solo,
him.
ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't know what you're talking about, dude.
exactly. Just give me a pistol.
Oh man, I am identifying too much with him. This is
Yeah.
this is my roots right
Well,
here.
you are a
going on.
hick from Texas.
I
Yes, and
am.
so is he. You find out he's from Texas too. So
And
That's why you wanted Matthew to watch this.
yeah. Oh, there's a lot of
yes,
reasons.
my family, we were not high society growing up.
I believe the term is living high on the hog.
Oh, he walks.
See, now I can see Matthew walking into a room like that. I can absolutely
Yeah.
see this.
Oh gosh.
Listen to what he does here.
Life with Matthew, movie star.
Oh gosh, it's too real. Oh gosh, this is so me. I'll give you that chuckle. If you want that chuckle, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Ha.
He doesn't know what that means.
Okay, this scene is hilarious, but again, I don't feel like it's actually advancing any plot in the movie.
This
I don't think
movie
there is a plot in this movie.
This is not a plot-driven movie.
Like, George Clooney is off there missing.
Yeah.
I think that's the plot.
Well, they're still introducing the main cast, basically.
Night Lancer 373, thanks for stopping by.
Have a good one.
Okay.
He's just so
It
broken.
is hard to do a Southern drawl acting like it's trying to do a high society.
Yeah, British. He's talking to a British woman, British accent woman, and he's just, this is so great here.
Oh no, this.
That's great. Yeah, we can use Christian names. Let's just move along.
He's just trying to say, would that it were so simple.
So,
oh gosh.
Remote
Meanwhile, back in the
location.
plot.
I'm assuming we're going to be seeing George Clooney. Yep, there he is. Well, now you see, Mrs. Antrek is going to get upset. There's a Pomeranian in the movie.
The guy who answered the door was Newman's accomplice, right? Was it just
I don't think
someone
you're not going to see Newman again. That was a cameo.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about Newman.
Yeah.
So here's what you do. Instead of doing an emotional speech, just focus on the bottom of the cross with the blood coming down and a couple lepers being healed. You're done.
$3.40 an hour. My God. Those guys are making bank.
I would say I'm undercharging people.
Commodore, the link is in the description. If you so the description has a link to go to antistriker.com, which in turn has a link to Matthew's screen room where we're watching this. Mr. Skank, that just gets me every time.
Lawrence presents, he says. So they're thinking that Clooney's on a bender right now because apparently he goes on those, and yeah.
Okay, so guys in fedoras, everybody's in shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and an annoying dog.
A very annoying dog. And cucumber sandwiches?
Yes, and they're cutting the crust off the bread.
Well, I thought I had it all figured out until I saw the cucumber sandwiches. Now I'm just thrown off.
Yeah.
I was thinking some kind of political thing.
Hey, Daniel's Hot Topic, how you doing?
You know what? I hope they don't put all those characters in Spider-Man 3 because then it's just going to be the same problem that every Spider-Man 3 has ever suffered. Well,
yeah.
Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 2, the Amazing Spider-Mans. You don't cram too many villains in there.
Amazingly, the animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse had a lot of villains, and they pulled it off fine, but they also had a lot of Spider-Men.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one Spider-Girl.
So he's being offered a job by Lockheed Martin.
Which would probably be a good idea for him.
Yeah.
No stress.
Yeah.
So,
where they did the...
That's where they did the nuclear test.
Yeah.
That's where Godzilla was born.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, it's Fang Fang. There's a little politics humor for you.
So, that's about time he woke up. Dang, what'd they give him?
Quite the roofie.
Mm-hmm.
But why does Lockheed want a movie fixer?
Well, they just want an efficient executive.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me, is that they just see the guy as a talented executive.
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily know anything about the manufacturing of planes or anything like that. You just need to know how to handle people.
How to manage.
Yeah.
See, the engineer in me rebels at that comment so hard.
Yeah.
Well, the engineer of you is wrong.
I just had too many bosses who had no idea what we did, and couldn't get anything done.
Yeah. I like this mid-century architecture, with the rock, there and the wood paneling and all that, and the earth tones.
I like the fact that she is not even freaking out about the Roman centurion in the house.
Or the movie star. She must be extremely well paid.
At least $3.40 an hour.
Yeah.
And I did not see Ron Perlman come over.
That or she's extremely not well paid, and it's like, I don't get paid enough to put up with this crap. Just there and there.
Ah, okay, I got it. I know what they are. Should I say it?
Go ahead and guess.
I haven't worked it out yet.
They're communists.
Well, yes, but they're also something else.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of old white guys?
No.
So is this why Hollywood went so far left?
Well, these characters are very fascinating. These are Hollywood screenwriters.
Of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why that explains. Yeah, that's why everything in Hollywood is left-wing propaganda, and the people making the movies don't even realize it.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is during the 1950s, during a Red Scare.
Right.
There's a guy in there who I think played in a TV show called Early Edition. He's on the right.
Him?
Well, not him. He was a friend of the main character. The guy on the right with the bow tie. Him. Yes, that is definitely him. He was much younger when I saw him on TV, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Death by Rabies, we're not nearly as funny as Mystery Science Theater, but I'll take that as a compliment.
They're definitely more funny when the movie's actually bad. See, this is a problem. You gave us an interesting movie, Darin, and it's hard to rib it. Instead, we're like, hey, what's going on?
Now, that guy in the back there, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Mr. Universe from Serenity.
Oh, okay,
No. Did he get fat, or is he in a fat suit?
He's older now. This came out 4 years ago, so.
He's the one that was a giveaway to me that they're communists. Look at him.
Yeah, looks like a communist.
Or Einstein.
And you're right. I don't think we'll ever see Channing Tatum as Gambit again, and that's a good thing.
Channing Tatum played Gambit?
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that, no.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to join us for that one. It's X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's like the worst X-Men film. You will
I've seen it.
want to...
I've seen it. I just didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
Oh, he is...
Or no, I don't think... Well, yeah, it was... No, it was... Well, now I got to look it up.
That guy's
Gambit was played by someone named Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was thinking of Channing Tatum was slated to play Gambit, but then they canceled it. So that's why I got confused. I haven't seen X-Men Origins Wolverine in a very long time.
Yeah.
We got to watch that one sometime, Matthew.
What's that?
X-Men Origins Wolverine. Have you seen it?
That's the one with the bad Deadpool, isn't it?
Yes. But played by the good Deadpool.
Yes, I have seen that one. We kidnapped you.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of people kind of forget that the Red Scare and where it started with the McCarthy trials was actually everyone he pointed out was guilty of collaborating.
Right.
It was only once some other people started to be like, hey, we want you to target him. He said no because he wouldn't compromise. And they said, if you're not going to play ball with us, we're going to destroy you. And that's how he became the pariah he is now.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I'm from Wisconsin. He was a Wisconsin Southerner. I know all about it.
Oh, okay.
So that's Chunk, I assume?
Yeah.
How'd you like to have that name, Chunk?
We have your movie star. Gather $100,000 and await instructions. We are the future.
Please don't enter. We already have to deal with Star Trek Discovery and other bad nerdy shows. We don't have to relive X-Men Origins. But are you going to join us in a couple of weeks, Commodore Ty, for Sharknado?
Oh, I hope so. I'm looking forward to Sharknado. And Sharknado, the second one, very much.
And January will be Sharknado month, where we'll go through all...
So he's calling accounting, trying to get some petty cash to pay the ransom of $100,000, which was a lot of money in 1951.
I'd take that money today.
Yeah, I could definitely go for $100,000 right now.
But imagine a movie star being worth $100,000. It's like, I mean, when okay, now this is interesting. Okay, so the Ancient One here is actually playing two people in this movie. There were two competing twin sisters who were both Gotham columnists, and people keep getting them confused.
Well, because they're twin sisters.
Because they're twin sisters, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The eagle calling in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we know in the news story they're talking about the On Wings with Eagles?
You'll hear about it later.
Okay.
Hey, PJ, how you doing? And Alex wants to know, who would you most want to see from this movie in a Star Trek show? Well, it's a pretty solid cast, and Robert Picardo's already been in Star Trek.
Yep.
True.
I think Ben Stein is a little old to be acting. Is he even still alive?
Yeah, he's alive, but just barely.
Yeah.
Look how short Thanos is compared to the Ancient One here.
Well,
no, he was.
He
CGI,
doesn't have the stones with him.
Yeah.
Golly, Mr. Kent. I mean,
so this guy is Thanos?
That's the actor.
Josh Brolin, the studio head. That. Listen to his voice. That's Thanos. Yes.
Yeah, that's Thanos. Yeah. He's also Cable.
Yes.
I can see her as the Ancient One, but I just can't see him as Thanos.
Yeah, it's because he's an actor.
Yeah, unlike George Clooney.
Here we go.
I saw George Clooney as Batman, and I still can't see him as Batman.
Yeah.
It's because you can't see his nipples. John saying, after dealing with Hollywood, it's no wonder Thanos wanted to destroy half the universe.
No, the Ancient One is in Doctor Strange, the Ancient One. That's Tilda Swinton. Picture the twins with no hair, and you have the Ancient One. Yeah, that's definitely Han Solo there. Quality. It has quality. Is that true there, Matthew? You won't quit till you got quality?
Somebody else from Star Trek here. You'll see in a second.
Right.
Maybe they'll show her till later. Okay, well,
So dealing with Little League.
We'll see her later. We'll see her later, but you'll recognize his wife from Star Trek 2 when they show her.
Or I could just be Han Solo. Come on, shoot him now. Shoot first. Well, tarnation. Yeah, he's got a good point.
Yep.
Extras are in and out, but everybody else is regular work.
And we already know he's right because it was 2 extras who kidnapped him.
Yeah.
So. Okay, here's that scene that Annie Trekker was talking about.
Oh, yes, the gritty, realistic depiction of the Navy.
Oh, okay. The makeup for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good job on those uniforms, though.
Well, I told you. You see,
no
he's
rank,
talking...
no rank insignia, though.
Darin endorses this as a gripping, realistic depiction of the Navy.
I like the name of the bar, the Swingin' Dinghy.
Are they going to go like a Stewie Griffin route with this song?
What's that?
I said, are they going to go a Stewie Griffin route with this song?
Possibly.
I don't know what Stewie Griffin route would be.
From Family Guy?
I know who Stewie Griffin is, but I don't know what you're referring to.
situational homosexuality.
Oh, yeah.
They rehearsed this for 3 months.
I don't doubt it. It's a pretty good number, actually,
Yeah.
except for the,
Well, they don't do this anymore, and a lot of movie actors would go their whole career without doing a scene like this now.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, so you ready? Here it comes. Just for you, Matthew.
This movie is such Oscar bait.
Well, it didn't get the Oscar because Hollywood hated it. And you'll find out why by the end of the film. There was another movie that took place in the same era called Trumbo about a producer who was caught up in the HUAC and played by what's his face from Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, and that got all the nominations, and this one didn't.
They are doing a great job with the tablecloths there.
Oh, the synchronized dancing and stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I say, they don't make musicals anymore, so like that, at least not in like they used to. So
Right.
This is something that had to be rehearsed and choreographed. They had to get people out of retirement that knew how to do this kind of stuff to do the choreography and stuff.
Kind of like the La La Land movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you guys pretty much did on the subs all night, right?
Well, no, we weren't wearing those clothes. This is what we did.
You
on
were
shore
naked.
leave. This is what we did on shore leave. Yeah.
Tap dancing really impresses the ladies.
Yeah, it did. Standing on your head and things like that. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Here's where all the nice little dated homoeroticism comes into play.
He says
This
dated
is pretty
because
tame. I mean,
Yeah. Well, now we actually have homoeroticism in the Navy. They allow that. They allow them now. And so.
you'll see a lot of me. Huh?
there it is. There it is. Okay.
Yeah. The picture is a little bit cut off, I noticed.
I blame Matthew.
Okay.
I think that's legit.
Then more of them come in.
Oh man, this place looks open. Wow.
Oh gosh. Alex is saying I'd rather you guys review the sci-fi shark movie that ripped off Waterworld. Forget the title.
They did a pretty good job with those neckerchiefs too. I mean, I basically. Oh, jeez. All right.
Come on, admit it, Darin. This is what you did in your spare time.
There's Highlander.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, Alex, you're not talking about Sharknado, are you?
I don't think Sharknado ripped off Waterworld.
Well, there's water involved, and it's a shark movie. And it was on the
Yeah.
Sci-Fi Channel.
See, the Meg didn't rip off Waterworld, but it was a shark movie.
Yeah, but that wasn't a sci-fi, or because he put SYFI as like the sci-fi channel is what I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have a change of clothes or anything. He's just going to be in a Roman uniform the whole time.
Yeah, he would do that for a whole movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, yes, we kidnapped you.
There are so many stars in this movie.
Yeah.
He's not one of them.
And yes, Cartoon Man, that was Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
Marathon, the 2-episode Terra Firma 1 and 2. I'm not talking about Terra Firma. It hurt to watch Terra Firma Part 2. Part 1 was bad enough, but Part 2 just broke me.
I think those were my two least
now,
favorite.
Here's their biggest flaw in their thinking is they said that they don't like the fact that they get paid for their scripts, but then the studio makes millions of dollars and they never see any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you confound a communist whenever you ask them, well, should it work the other way then too? Should you owe the studio millions of dollars if they buy your script and it bombs?
Yeah.
The reason why the studio makes the money is because the studio took the risk. They invested all the the resources and manpower into and that's why they get the money back. You got paid for your script. And
regardless of whether it was successful or not.
Yes, you have security, and yet they're upset. So yeah.
I mean, and in communism, you don't get the money.
No, nobody gets the money.
Right, that's the ironic thing is that communism is supposed to be anti-capital anyway.
Right.
You get a fixed income, you do your job, and that's the end.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not talking about money. We're talking about economics.
Why? And
oh gosh, that's such a communist mindset too. Like as soon as it comes to sharing your money, all of a sudden everyone's quite the capitalist.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's the eagle sound again.
Yeah.
Are they gonna say what "on the wings of eagles" actually means?
Yes. Yeah. That will make. Yeah, they will say it.
Alex, I've not heard that Netflix was going to reboot Narnia, but I don't care. I'm done with Netflix.
Also, I love the Narnia series.
But I don't think they do it justice anyway.
Right.
You have 3 good movies in those books, maybe 4, and then C.S. Lewis went to a weird place.
He did. Now, every single Coen Brothers movie I've ever seen has Frances McDormand in it somewhere in the movie, and this is her tiny role as a projectionist.
So that was a movie?
Yes.
Okay. But that's the first time they said it without hearing an eagle in the background.
Hey, Paris, we're watching Hail Caesar.
Yes, and follow the link to come join the.
So they
movie.
got some old woman here doing all the film editing manually with the film and smoking while she's doing it, and it's just.
Well, back then they were called cutters, and they actually didn't make a lot of money.
No,
editing is a very prestigious position.
Yes, she's got her ascot on. Now listen, look what they did to change Hobie's line, or hobby, I should say.
Han Solo.
Merrily We Dance, yeah.
There were many a woman who was an editor and really made a movie through their editing choices.
Mm-hmm. They got that whole thing where it looks like a projector behind them. You know?
That suits me as well.
Here we go.
What?
Yeah.
She got her ass caught in the projector.
Good thing you knew how to use the equipment.
Still smoking that cigarette too, even though she was just choking. So.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe they did that.
All right, let's see here.
It made his line easier to say.
I also like, if you noticed, once it got caught back up to where her scarf got caught, there was a frame that was burned out.
Yes, there was.
$10-year deal. Lockheed Martin's high-ranking executive from 51 to 61. Man, you could not ask for a sweeter deal.
Oh, I know.
his wife, who seems to be running the show in his house.
Now, I love how this is filmed in Los Angeles, and they made it look like, you look up in the behind him, all the classic cars parked on the sidewalk and such. So he's waiting for his date, who is a Carmen Miranda parody.
Okay.
Yeah. So most of this rope trick he actually learned how to do, but there's one part that's CG. You'll know it when you see it. Right there.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever been to a rodeo?
But there are people who can do that. Just not him.
There can be only one.
But yeah, if y'all ever go to a rodeo, y'all see a lot of tricks like that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's fascinating.
I'm sure Matthew does that in his spare time too.
Yeah, that's how everybody views Texans.
Yeah.
If they're bored, if they're bored, they just get a rope and go out in their backyard, and they do all kinds of amazing crap with it.
Yeah, I had to get rid of the house because of the HOA, but...
Okay, here it is. Recognize her? That's Murder Doctor from Star Trek Picard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Murder Doctor.
So you got the Doctor from Voyager, you got Murder Doctor from Picard.
So we have one of the best doctors and the worst doctor in
exactly.
To be fair,
her eyes are still way too close together.
She wasn't a medical doctor. She was just a PhD doctor.
She's still a murder doctor.
She was a cyberneticist, as I recall.
Now, you see, if she had just murdered Thanos right now, she would have prevented so much problems later on. But no.
Yeah.
But she wasn't the first murder doctor. At least you can say the TNG lady who murdered the crystallinity beat her to it.
Oh, her. Yeah, it's true.
But her eyes still bother me.
Oh, yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah. Two-dimensional face.
How does she have
Depth
a
perception.
job as an actress with eyes like that?
Well, they cast her in crazy roles.
Yeah.
She's got good crazy eyes.
Yeah, when the script calls for someone whose eyes are just a little too close together, they call her up.
Soviet life.
Could you imagine if there was actually a Soviet Life magazine?
The last jigsaw piece that doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. Yeah. See, if I made jigsaw puzzles, that's what I would do on purpose, just to mess with people.
Oh, he's a card-carrying communist.
Uh-huh.
So, so I said, "Hey, Freeze, I'm Batman."
Lazy old moon, Hobby Doyle. They're going to his premiere. this is how I view Matthew in his backyard.
Lazy old moon. Hi, I'm Matthew. Welcome to Lazy Old Moon.
Here it is.
You're going to have to bust out the yodeling.
So that, of course, would be life with Matthew's sister and dad. That's your dad, isn't it?
Well, close.
Kit Carson Matthew. Of course his name is Curly. Is your dad's name Curly?
No, it was Tex.
That's the only other name that it could possibly be.
Yep. He had a hard time growing up in Tennessee, but once he moved here, it was a lot better. Is Curly okay? He's been down there for a while now.
There he is.
There we go. Alex wants to know if we can riff Waterworld for his grandma.
Oh man, I don't know. I've never seen Waterworld. I've heard it's horribly boring.
It's a Kevin Costner movie.
Yeah.
It's Kevin. Yeah.
It's really not as bad as people make it out to be. It is slow, but it's not as bad as you could get.
I just remember that I think they were making that movie when I was in high school, and it was so over budget.
Oh yeah. It was
because they tried to build everything. That was the problem. And here's what's his face from.
Yeah. Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
No, Jonah
Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, yeah.
Now, okay, is this another movie or is this the real life?
No, they're trying to make the arrangements for her to adopt her own kid, remember?
Yeah.
Well, the narration totally fits with the time, you know. Mm-hmm. There was a dark night in the city that never sleeps.
And no, Cartoon Man, you're not the only one about those crazy eyes. Those crazy eyes bothered me back when Picard first came out. And everybody thought, you're crazy. And then they'd start looking at her, and then they're like, I can't unsee that now.
Yeah.
I don't think you want that. And no, Commodore, I did not hear that I'm assuming you mean the actor that played Boba Fett in Empire passed away. I did not hear. Why is she flirting with that?
Because they're describing how dependable he is as a person. That was earlier in the film. She was upset with all the louses that she had married. Yeah,
that they were either gay or screwing around. Yeah,
yeah, or they were unreliable, and they just sold him as like this guy that the studio relies on for things like this, and so she's all turned on by that.
Are they going to make him gay?
No.
Because that'd be hilarious. Just like she goes through all this, and then it turns out that of course he's a nice guy. He's gay.
Oh, look, it's blonde Jesus. Of course, it's blonde Jesus.
Oh gosh. Oh, please let him have blue eyes.
Now, do we ever see Jesus's face?
No, you never do.
Okay.
You hear his voice though when the actor is on the cross, wanting a sandwich.
So it literally is Ben-Hur,
Something like that, yeah.
where they never showed the face of Christ either.
Right. So.
And yes,
Now,
Matthew is wearing a toga.
Here we go. This is pretty good too.
I've never heard of origami, but I'm sure Matthew has.
This here is Italian origami, he says.
Yeah.
Got roped into it. This is almost how my first date with my wife went.
Really?
Yeah,
So you hit her with noodles?
It was more after
he's telling a story here. Watch this.
Mm-mm.
I bet Matthew can do that.
No comment.
That's his belt.
Yeah.
He recognizes.
He borrowed it.
Yeah.
So he knows who the commie is.
He knows who the kidnapper is. He doesn't know they're communists.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounded really bad there. Oh, Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
So they're gay communists.
I just like how he's got no teeth and she doesn't care. She thinks it's funny. You know, it's like most women today would be like, "Get me out of here."
Mm-hmm.
You know? And the way he said it too, it was like the steer went up, I went down, the steer went up, my teeth headed for East Texas.
So he's following him.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Han Solo's off on another adventure.
See, nobody knew he was going to play Han Solo when this movie came out. And
if he can just thread the needle this time.
Yeah. I'd like to see...
He can make the Kessel Run in under... how many parsecs? I'm trying to remember.
I'd like to see Alden Ehrenreich in more things, just not as Solo. I think that...
Yeah, I think Solo pretty much ended his career.
Yeah, so far. I mean, you look at his IWDB, everything ends with Solo. And, I'm hoping he can recover, maybe go back to TV, maybe go to TV for a little while and then come back to movies. But because he's too good to, and what actor wouldn't want to be in Star Wars? He had no idea the movies were going to take the turn that they did.
Right.
A lot of those actors, John Boyega. I mean, his career kind of stalled too. And yeah, go ahead, Matthew.
I said that's why I'm not super thrilled about all the Star Wars stuff Disney just announced. Like everything they announced, I'm like, you know what? You're going to tell a story that I don't need the backstory of. I don't need to know what happened to Obi-Wan Kenobi between the movies.
Make one good movie first,
Yeah.
I mean, The Mandalorian is a cool original idea. How about you give us other cool original ideas rather than rehash?
Yeah. So here we go. So it's communist. Yeah.
Asking a Texan if he's communist.
So, okay. This is filmed in a special way to make it look like they used miniatures. Because you can kind of tell by the water. Mm-hmm. Miniature boats and things like that have a certain look to the water has a certain look to them because they overcrank the camera and then play it back at regular speed to make the waves seem bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that noise again.
Yeah.
I do think it's coming from Matthew.
Yeah, I think Matthew's messing up again. There, it's gone now. Okay.
All right, so he's got the stupid dog.
Mm-hmm. I like how all the communist writers have matching wet, foul weather gear.
Well, of course they do. They're communists.
I like how the writers lined up their shot for what's about to happen. Oh, no, that's not what I thought was going to happen.
This is why you like this movie.
Now, this is not a period accurate Soviet submarine, but it's about 4 or 5 years too early for this design, but it still works as far as I'm concerned for the story.
Of course it works as far as you're concerned. So let me get this straight. We have gay sailors dancing around, and then the gay dancing sailor gets on a submarine, and this is one of your favorite movies of all time.
I like the period piece. I like how communists are portrayed in this movie, like the fools that they are, and so the captain of the submarine
they're not necessarily fools. They're getting away with $100,000.
Well, we just wait. But the captain of the submarine is played by Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren, but his close up was cut, so you don't know it's him. What you see here, this guy standing on the hull in silhouette, that's Dolph Lundgren, but they never get around to showing you him because
You're talking about Whiplash?
Moment. No, I'm talking about Dolph Lundgren. He played Ivan Drago in Rocky IV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's going to...
Oh, wow. I did not put it together that he was the sailor dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you are stupid.
Yeah.
So that's Eagle.
I think he said Igor.
And there goes the $100,000.
Yeah. They're idiots. I mean, this is why Hollywood hated the movie, was because it portrayed, that aspect of Hollywood as being foolish.
I mean, no one even bothered to jump in to grab it.
Well, if the water is deep enough for a submarine to submerge, it's gonna, yeah. I mean, it would take a little while for it to sink, but yeah.
I would have jumped in for 100,000. I mean, the boat
Yeah,
right
I'd jump
next to
in.
me.
I mean, assuming you could swim.
They were going to give it to the Soviet Union anyway. So
wow, was that going to make a difference? $100,000.
Yeah.
I mean, even back then, while $100,000 would be like $1 million now, it's not like if you handed the federal government $1 million, they're going to be like, oh well, now the budget's balanced.
It's a squirt in the ocean. Yeah.
Wow, I was pretty darn close. 100,000. You said this took place in 1951, right?
Yeah.
$100,000 from 1951 in 2020 is $1,880.77. I was $800 off.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they picked that number for the movie. No, this is this is great. He's trying to assess the damage that they did to him.
See, this is the difference between.
Listen, you have to listen to this. I'm sorry, you have to listen to this first. A lot of actors need to get slapped around like that.
We see right there, that's the difference, though, between Josh Brolin and George Clooney. George Clooney has one character. Josh Brolin spoke volumes just staring at him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know. There's the bird again. So he actually was gay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so what's George Clooney's actor's name? Character's name?
Baird Whitlock.
Okay, so is he the one they're talking about that was gay?
Yeah. No. Bert Gurney was the Gene Kelly sailor guy dancing around who jumped on the submarine.
There could be only one.
The guy on the right.
Yeah.
He was in Enterprise.
Kurgan. He was in Enterprise too, yes.
Yeah. It's funny that he's complaining about his neck when, of course, in Highlander he had that scar there.
Yeah. You're not that bad.
Five Hail Marys for hitting a movie star, huh?
He also snuck a cigarette or two.
Yeah.
Good luck with Terra Firma Part 2, Daniel. You're going to need it.
Daniel will probably like it.
Just because of what they do with the Empress, but the rest of that episode, man.
Okay.
Yeah, shut up. I got it.
Mr. Skank. I have to say, I'm surprised that this movie got made.
Oh yeah, it was. The portrayal of the communists was. This is. You will see a lot of reviews of this movie where like this movie makes no sense. There's no point to this movie, and basically it's all to discourage people from seeing it because they just don't like that portrayal of the communists.
Right.
In the same year, of course, Trumbo comes out where he was a communist hero who smarted off to the House Un-American Affairs Committee, and he was a schlockster. And this one had like an all-star cast with a lot of big actors playing little parts, and I think a lot of them didn't know what I have to wonder if a lot of them didn't know what the full script was about. You do your little scenes, you move on, and then you're in this movie that lampoons the Hollywood left.
Right, but I mean, it would be hard to see much of that movie without realizing that it's lampooning the Hollywood left.
Yeah.
And that is what really surprises me that they got away with, that movie ever got greenlit.
Yep.
Because, let's be real. For some reason, the Hollywood left doesn't seem to like being lampooned very much.
No, they talk to their lawyers when that happens. Saturday Night Live, I think it was Lorne Michaels said it. He said that we make fun of we make fun of Republicans, and Dana Carvey gets invited to the White House for a luncheon. You start making fun of a Democrat politician, and we hear from their lawyers.
Right.
It's a very different thing. And so yeah, I the reason I like it, it's one of my favorite recent films, and like I say, had you ever seen Alden Ehrenreich in anything else other than Solo before now?
No, in fact, Solo is the only thing I've ever seen him in up until tonight. Yeah.
See, I haven't seen him as Solo, but I've seen him in this, and I just thought he was. I like that he was the only one that Eddie Mannix confided in the kidnapping with, and he nails it right away. Start talking to the extras, he's like the only. He's like he and Carlotta, his date, seemed like the only normal people there, in the movie. Right.
Well, I'm sure Matthew's happy about that.
I was gonna say I liked how they made the Texan intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't just some dumb redneck. With an accent. It was he actually like, hey, I put all the pieces
most
together.
Texans,
I tracked him down.
Yeah,
like most portrayal of Texans, certainly, yes.
Yeah.
Or
he had a great humble attitude, and he really wanted to impress his director. He wanted to give him what he wanted, and he didn't have that attitude that way. He just had a different set of abilities, and that was.
Let's get rid of the laugh. That was bad directorial input.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah,
it's complicated.
Yeah, say the same thing with fewer words. But no, the part with Scarlett Johansson, they're hitting up the fact that she's just a wretched kind of woman when you meet her. And she's already, the studio has already fixed her up with like 2 other husbands in the past, and one of them was a gangster, and the other one had other issues. And Jonah Hill, you missed it. I think you may have been talking during that, but apparently they didn't have to do the whole adoption thing anyway, because the 2 of them got married.
Oh yeah, that like just a line that was.
It was a line, yeah.
Okay.
Deanna Moran married Jonah Hill's character, and so they don't have to make up a story about her, being sick for a couple of months while she delivers the baby. They can just say it was their baby together in wedlock, and so things work out. Now the real Eddie Mannix was a much more devious character. He was nothing like this character. He was responsible for a lot of abortions. He was also in an open marriage, which means he didn't really have a marriage. And but this character was so much more likable, devout Catholic, and I just love that scene where he brings in all those religious heads, and they're wanting, imagine this: Hollywood wanting to make money, so interested in making money that they don't want to offend anyone.
Right.
And they
at least offend people that you would be concerned with. Like, you're making a movie dealing with a religious topic, so you want to call in religious experts to make sure you're not saying anything too out there.
Yeah. And
it would be almost like if the people making Star Trek Discovery hired, say, a physicist to come in and talk about math. So
or even just a Star Trek fan, like the head of the Star Trek fan club or something, and
that's not how the Guardian works, right? When something is changed in the past, it gets changed.
Yeah.
Not just like, it was all a dream.
Robert Picardo is like, so God has a son now? What about a dog? Like a collie, maybe? God's a bachelor, and he's very, very angry. He goes,
that's definitely the Jewish attitude.
Your God hates everybody. No, that's not true. He loves Jews.
And look at the disclaimer there. This motion picture contains no depiction of the Godhead.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find myself wanting to watch the movies that we saw snippets of. I wouldn't mind seeing that Hail Caesar movie or even the Old Moon and stuff. They really kind of baited you a little bit, but I liked how
I know you really wanted to see the Sailors,
the swinging dinghy movie. Yeah. No, the Lazy Old Moon one, when they went to the premiere, everybody laughed when the old man jumped into the trough. And
which you figure that means it has to be some kind of running gag or something,
or
because it wasn't that funny.
It wasn't that funny, but then again, people's sensibilities were different back then too. I mean, they didn't have the kind of comedy that we have today, or even 40 years ago. So it was entertainment wasn't the same thing. I mean, you didn't get it unless you went to the movie theater. That's why they had those aquatic pictures for people who just wanted a quiet, serene experience in a movie theater
and wanted to look at a hot chick.
Or that too, yeah. I mean, they had exploitation films back then with footage of bare-breasted women in Africa and stuff like that, too. I mean, but the diversity of the kinds of films they used to make, I thought was pretty interesting. They specifically showed us behind-the-scenes stuff of making movies they don't make anymore, like the musical and the aquatic show and the dust pictures and things like that. But
overall, I thought it was a good movie. I liked it. It was fun. It was utterly pointless, but but at the same time, it was just kind of a dissection of Hollywood, which is why I'm shocked that it ever got greenlit.
Yeah. The movie is really about Eddie Mannix trying to decide whether he still wants to work at this studio or not.
Right, and ultimately he decides to work at the studio.
Yeah. And he turns down a much better deal,
He should have taken the Lockheed.
He should have taken the Lockheed job, yeah. So
And
now, have
Donnie's
y'all
going to
seen-
bed. Have a good
Have
one,
y'all
Donnie.
seen the other Coen, or one of the other Coen movies, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Darin,
Yeah.
were you talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which a lot of people don't realize is the Odyssey, just relocated into the Deep South instead of Greece. You know.
Oh, so that's why Matthew likes that one, because it's in the Deep South.
Yeah.
And Greece.
I mean, there is some lines in that movie that even like Clooney was able to play. It was a smooth talking, silver tongued Southerner in that show. He was not playing his usual character. And
Really,
my
Clooney
favorite.
with a Southerner?
Oh yeah, it was a silver tongued Southerner. He had and a country singer too. It was interesting. But my favorite moment in that film is when he's at that hardware store and he wants some Dapper Dan. He uses this special, wet look, hair cream.
I've heard of. I remember Dapper Dan. I remember
all
that
they
guy.
have is this other brand. He's like, I'm a Dapper Dan man. He goes, when are you gonna get some? And and the guy says 2 weeks. And he says, well, do you have one of these over here? And he goes, no, we'll get that in about 2 weeks. Well, this place is a regular geographic oddity. 2 weeks from everywhere. It's my favorite line in the whole movie.
It was Dapper Dan and Dippity Doo.
Yeah.
Was another product like that. And by the way, thank you, Beatboxing Troy. Says, love the work that you do. I appreciate that. Although sometimes I feel like I'm having a heart attack when I'm watching certain episodes of Discovery.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this last one, I tell you. I assume you saw my review of it, Darin.
Well, I commented, and then you called me a jerk.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you actually watched it.
I did.
But yeah,
I did.
Yeah, so the Guardian of Forever's name is Carl, and apparently he can just move around and do whatever he wants, which made no and by the way, he tests people.
Yeah.
And so like he sends them into specific periods of history just to test them to see if they're worthy of something.
Right. Yeah. Which
And at the same time,
original
he was
Guardian
unable to
didn't do
stop
anything like
people from going and messing with them during the temporal Cold War. Like he has all the power, but he still can't stop someone from being like, "Oh, I'm just going to walk through now and mess up."
Too bad he couldn't just like go back in time and stop that from ever happening.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense from what I could tell.
Oh no, yeah. Well, and I didn't even get into it. I'm going to do a whole video just on the send-off scene at the end of the episode.
Goodness.
That is downright, in my opinion, the most both offensive and deliciously ironic scene in all of Discovery. Because it's offensive. Because you know who Georgiou was, right?
Well, the original captain, yeah, she was.
No,
I saw the first season of.
Okay, no, I'm talking about evil Georgiou. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, she was the empress of the Terran Empire.
So she is a homicidal, genocidal maniac who ate Kelpians and slaughtered innocents just for fun, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is her. Daniel, you might want to run away if you don't want any spoilers. This is her final episode on the show. And so after she leaves, then all the crew of Discovery stand around and toast her and talk about how, she was always so brutally honest with how she felt. Oh, that Georgiou, she would always tell you what was on her mind. And they were all just trying, and who was it? Like Tilly said she redefined the word badass. And so they saying all this stuff about her. And it's like, you do realize that the only difference between her and a certain genocidal maniac who ruled Germany in the 1940s was gender.
Right.
And you guys are sitting there talking about like she's just the greatest person you've ever had the privilege of knowing and how much you're going to miss her.
Yeah. It's, I find it also funny that, the only reason why the Federation of Discovery survived the Klingon conflict or the Kling-Orc conflict was because of two people that came in from the Mirror Universe who knew how to fight.
Yeah.
Lorca and Georgiou. It's like this version of the Federation doesn't deserve to exist.
No, it really doesn't.
They couldn't take care of their own shit. So it's like,
Well, and it's so weird because they've made the Mirror Universe people just slobbering idiots in these 2 episodes. Like, Burnham was literally a slobbering maniac, which they weren't like that in Mirror. You do see them screaming.
Yeah,
but that's because they couldn't.
Yeah, Kirk was being restrained, so he was being very upset.
Yeah.
They were ruthless, and they were clearly evil, but they weren't just blithering idiots. I mean, they were schemers, and it's not like they were just like doing stupid things just to be stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, imagine this, Darin. Like, let's say that you want to, without naming any specific people involved, imagine that you want to prove your loyalty to someone, right? And you've been part of a conspiracy against that person, and that person knows you've been a part of this conspiracy. So they say, well, here's how you're going to prove your loyalty. You are going to expose all your co-conspirators. So you do. And in fact, you partner with the other head co-conspirator in order to do so. Then, in front of the person, and this other co-conspirator, by the way, is your bestest friend in the whole world and the one person you trust more than anybody else in the universe. So then, in order to prove your loyalty to me, you kill that person right in front of me. But you were just faking it.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, that's quite an abstraction.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't even keep continuity within their own show. Like, she killed Stamets. She killed Stamets, who was about to kill her. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right, and the problem is that the way they explain it with the Guardian of Forever from City on the Edge of Forever is that if you go through the Guardian and you change history, it does change the present.
Oh, yeah, it did, because the Enterprise disappeared as soon as McCoy went through it.
Right, and in fact, the Guardian even told them that the entire Federation didn't exist because of Edith Keeler.
Right. Yeah.
And but now apparently she can change the course of history, and it doesn't change anything.
The show couldn't keep its own continuity straight from episode to episode, and so I mean, when you have that kind of incompetence, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my.
Well,
my money.
I have to say though, I mean, in fairness, it is a sight to behold.
Well, I don't like to go to NASCAR races to see wrecks. You know what I mean?
Some people do.
I know.
I'm just saying there are people that do enjoy a good car crash every now and then, and so
some people
they
just
go
like
to
seeing
NASCAR.
the circles go round.
Yeah. Yeah. Other people just like watching people gradually drive to the left for hours on end.
And there's also the vibration, the noise. It's really quite the experience.
Oh, well, see, of course, the Texan is defending it.
I'd rather watch a monster truck rally, because they have different events.
Well, I'm sure that Matthew's been to one of those as well.
Actually, I haven't. Not a monster truck rally.
Oh, I'm shocked.
You should be. But no, there's literally one of the NASCAR racetracks, the Texas Motor Speedway, is just like it's within a half hour of the DFW Metroplex. It's pretty close by.
But I mean, some people like looking at wrecked videos, people getting assaulted or or car accidents, that happen live, things like that. I'm not one of those people.
So I'll say, which movie do you prefer? The Rocketeer, Darkman, The Shadow, or The Phantom? The Shadow and The Phantom were just abject suckage. Sorry, Darkman was okay, could have been better, and I have not seen The Rocketeer, but I've heard people say it's awesome.
What?
But I have personally not seen it.
It's dated now. The effects are dated now, but it was, Joe Johnston directed that movie, and he also went on later to direct the first Captain America movie. So he knows how to do World War II era period pieces.
Right.
And I do like The Rocketeer. It's just that it was a little bit too Disney, if that's a thing. And,
so you're saying that you would have preferred it to be more like Star Trek Discovery?
No.
Where everybody was depressed.
It was just a tiny bit too Mickey Mouse. It was you had.
Well, the movie is called The Rocketeer. Come on now.
Yes, but it's based on a comic book that was a little more adult.
Oh, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but my favorite little moment in that is when they show you that even the American mob was patriotic, because when they find out they've actually been working for the Nazis, the whole movie they turn on them, and you have this wonderful thing. It reminds me, later Enterprise did this, where the New York Mafia was leading the resistance against the Nazis in the intro story for the 4th season, when they go to an alternate World War II.
Yeah, that was
aliens.
horrible.
Oh, it was awesome.
Really, you like that one?
I like that one a lot. I liked all the vision. I love this scene where the NX-01 is weaving in between New York skyscrapers and being attacked by Stukas armed with disruptors. That was awesome. They show the Enterprise maneuvering around the Chrysler building. I thought that was just.
I remember I remember that, and some of the visuals for that were cool, but I just thought the whole idea of space Nazis was lame.
Well, they were aliens that were time traveling, and they were giving the Nazis, like they bribed them. They said we can engineer a plague that targets only non-Aryans. So you don't have to have any more concentration camps or extermination camps. You just release a pathogen, and you're the only ones on Earth. Things like that. But they successfully invaded the United States, and the New York Italian Mafia was, because they had the guns, the Thompson machine guns, they were able to lead the resistance.
So, well, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like it. But
you're allowed to not like it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think that Enterprise gets way more hate than it deserved, especially nowadays. I mean, come on. How can you not appreciate Enterprise after these last few years?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, although, granted, I know that their bold new take on the Guardian of Forever was bold and new.
Matthew, you must have recently seen North Star, then the episode North Star.
Yes, I did.
Enterprise. I do like that episode a lot. It was a third season Enterprise episode where they encounter Old West towns on a planet populated by humans who had been abducted during the Old West, and then taken to this planet to be their labor force, and they overthrew them because they're Americans, right. and then so you had this authentic Western town, but it was made out of materials from the planet, and stuff, and I love the final thing where Archer gets shot in the shoulder, but he's still able to fight that. Yeah, he's still able to fight that guy. But at the very end, the town sheriff is sitting in on a class, and of course the Enterprise has given them library tablets basically that have all the information, so they can try to get those people up to speed, so that when Starfleet eventually comes and takes them back to Earth, they have an easier transition.
So Thomas liked the agony booth. What did you think of that? I gotta ask you about that, because I saw that. And no, Thomas, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just a lot going on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out there, but I wanted to get that before it rolled off the screen. He likes seeing Michael Burnham in the agony booth. That's what he said.
That part was nice.
See,
is that available online? I'll watch that. What's that?
I'm sure Bird of Prey will release an 8-hour supercut of Michael Burnham alternating between her dying of asphyxiation from season 2 and her time in the agony booth from this last episode.
It was very cathartic. to see Michael Burnham get stabbed through the stomach.
Oh yeah, there was the she did get stabbed in the stomach. So you like
and then die.
There's no clip of it yet on YouTube. Well, I mean, you guys played that one thing of her choking. Like you had it on a loop.
that was Bird of Prey did that. Yeah.
Okay.
On the North Star thing, it was interesting because I don't think they could make that episode today. Because you came with the idea that the humans were the slaves, and they had been taken from their continent of origin, taken to a new continent, new planet, and enslaved. And then there's rebellion, and they gained their freedom. And that's where that would end if you made it today. Right. But they went further in Enterprise, and now the slaves were now the ones enslaving, and were the ones guilty of being prejudiced and keeping
the skags, uneducated, and if a skag kills a human even in self-defense, it's a hanging offense and things like that. But the guy who played the sheriff in that episode was in peak performance. My favorite TNG episode. He played crewman or Lieutenant Burke, who took over for Worf on the Enterprise when Worf went over to the Hathaway. He was the guy who was supposed to supervise Wesley Crusher and allowed him to steal his antimatter experiment and take it to the Hathaway. And he's been in a lot of movies. He plays a lot of military characters, and in that one they actually dyed his hair brown and gave him a mustache, but he was the sheriff.
The one that was such great security that he couldn't keep Wesley in check.
Right, exactly. He was like, "Can I just go? Come on!" But no, I like that at the end when the school teacher is talking about the events that took place, in America after they were abducted. So the first thing she starts with is Orville and Wilbur Wright's, historic airplane, thing, and the sheriff is listening in too because everybody wants to know. It's I don't know. It's just that's a warm fuzzy episode. I like that one a lot.
And Dreamer out there was talking about, it was definitely, I think, the funniest moment of the episode. T'Pol is being held captive, being held as a hostage with a gun at her head, which, first of all, it's like, what happened to Vulcans being strong?
Right.
But
that just comes and goes when the plot.
Reed just shoots her. I love that. Yeah. He stuns her and then stuns him. Yeah.
He's like, sorry about this. And the guy's like, what did you just do? And then he shoots the guy also. But they made for a great moment.
Well, they have no idea that their weapons aren't lethal. That's right. But I love that the Makos went down there too, and I always like the when you had Enterprise crewmen had the phase pistols, which were the beam weapons, but the Makos had those pulse rifles, and so you had a good diversity of special effects when the Makos were firing in conjunction with the Starfleet personnel. I always thought that made for a good visual.
So again, you would probably prefer Discovery since they use pulse weapons.
No, I liked the combination of the two.
Right, so in the end of season 2 of Discovery, they showed phasers firing both in pulses and in beams at the same time.
Well, we saw that in the old shows too. I mean, no, you're not going to get me to say I like Discovery.
Well, you should, I'm saying. All right, so we will continue this discussion tomorrow night on the Untitled show, but because, I don't know about you, but I need to get my dinner in me and then get some sleep. And
well, guys, thanks for humoring me by watching this movie.
Oh, no, thank you for twisting my arm into seeing it, because I know I've been putting it off forever, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I only got you the Blu-ray like 3 years ago.
I know. and Darin's not lying about that.
Never sending you any more movies.
Well, you know what? I still haven't watched the that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to do this just for Alexander. We're going to have to watch stupid Barbie movie. Yes, we're going to watch the Barbie movie.
We could actually have our own good time doing that. if we can figure out how.
If you find a Barbie the Barbarian, so we combine both Conan and Barbie.
Oh, Alexander would just be on seventh heaven for that.
Okay, let's check this right now.
There's Barbie the Barbarian is a thing.
The Barbarian. I can't
No,
spell
it's not
Barbarian, but Google will fix it for me. The Barbarian, thank you. Barbarian to Barbie, 8 books series. Barbie the Barbarian, 1987 on IMDb. Is it rated X? I think it might be rated X.
Oh, then then Darin would like it.
A young woman goes on a quest to rescue her sister from an evil king by using the weapon she knows best, her body.
You're gonna have to have a lot of Matthews on that cartoon, superimposing everything. Just put a great big Matthew face right over the top.
Gosh. I did not expect
audio
that.
only.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Barbara the Barbarian. Excuse me.
Yeah. Barbara the Barbarian. Okay.
So we'll watch Barbie and Rockin' Royals, and so that. But first, we're gonna have Sharknado January, right? So because there are 6 Sharknado films, we'll be watching the first 2 on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And there are 6 Sharknado films. So we got to work our way through the Sharknado saga, and then we're going to have to do Barbie.
You mean sucka?
Yeah. The amazing thing, we could make an entire year out of Barbie. I did not realize there are dozens of Barbie movies.
Don't give Alexander any ideas.
Barbie and the Nutcracker, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, Barbie as Rapunzel, Barbie A Christmas Carol, perfect for the holidays. Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper, not the Prince and the Pauper. No, it's the Princess. Barbie of Swan Lake, Barbie A Perfect Christmas, Barbie the Island Princess, Barbie Fairytopia Mermaidia, Barbie Fairytopia, Barbie Princess Charm School, Barbie and the Diamond Castle, Barbie Spy Squad, Barbie Video Game Hero. That's a movie, by the way. Barbie Video Game Hero is a movie.
Away with nerds today.
That sounds like
can't take a lot.
that sounds like a Japanese title translated into English.
It really does.
Barbie the Video Game Hero.
Yeah. Barbie and her sisters in a ponytail.
Wow.
This incredibly awesome films here. Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus.
Right here.
Barbie and the Three Musketeers. I'm sure that one's good.
Anyway.
All right, so
what happened to the Hulk review?
Yeah.
Or the third installment of our Star Trek review, episodes reviews that you.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I couldn't quite hear what you were saying.